Next up, you might not recognize him because he dyed his hair. This is James Miller.
Thank you. I did recently dye my hair. Thanks, Wyatt. I don't really... Hey, please. I don't really trust morgues. To me, it seems like morgues fuel what I would call the death machine that has been plaguing human society since its beginning. Bottom line is, morgues depend on dead people to stay in business. So who's to say they aren't out killing people in order to stay afloat? Morgues have a real conflict of interest. I don't know how they can say that they value human life when they profit from its very extinguishment. At its deepest level, I believe that this fear of morgues is what the movie Eyes Wide Shut is all about. There's a scene in that film in which Tom Cruise goes to a morgue to identify the body of a woman from an anonymous sex party that he had been to previously. The scene illustrates to me without a doubt there's a connection between the morgue and the movie's sex party people. The sex party people could have just punished the girl and avenged the supposed act of wrongdoing she committed against them, but instead they had to maintain their hard-ons for how exclusive and dangerous they were. So they went ahead and killed her instead. Conveniently, the morgue had the common interest of needing to keep the bodies flowing through its premises in order to keep its doors open for business. Look, now that people are out here dying, never again am I going to let someone try to convince me that the efforts of the invisible hand to align mutually beneficial outcomes is good for anybody. Moreover, the movie reveals the terrible conditions in morgues, where they shove people in drawers, they stack them one on top of the other like pieces of meat. I mean, these are people, human beings who we're talking about. It's just terrible the conditions into which they are put. Ultimately, I believe that Eyes Wide Shut's nuanced critique of capitalism, the free market, and the role of morgues in the perpetuation of death in modern society forms a compelling case to which everyone should lend an ear. I once had a strong ambition to be famous, so I went and did a talent show audition. I went to Las Vegas to audition for the show America's Got Talent. I went on the show as sort of an anti-establishment contestant who wanted to crash the castle of sand that was the supposed genius of all who competed. My talent? Because anything qualifies as a talent on those shows. My talent was my ability to get the red X's of rejection quicker and better than any other candidate. You know, when they ring the buzzer to say they don't like your act. Implicitly, my real talent was my ability to create a circle of logic that the judges could not get out of. You know, a catch-22. Did a red X mean I was doing a good job at doing poorly? Or rather, was a red X a rejection of my ability to get rejected? All of a sudden, what was talent? What was good? What was bad? God was dead, and I had killed him and tossed his bloody severed head right into Howie Mandel's lap. I'm gonna have to ask for forgiveness for that one later. So when the time came, I went up, I did my act, I acted my heart out, and I did the best I could to do the worst I could do. I'll spare you the details of how it went, but obviously I'm up here on the stage in front of all of you instead of off being famous somewhere. I haven't had this lack of success in everything I've done in my life, though. There are actually some things of which I'm particularly proud that I have done. One thing that I'm particularly proud of is my idea for an ice cream, a carton of ice cream that has no ice cream in it. Instead, when you open the carton, it just plays a recording with words and sounds that simulates in your brain the psychological experience of eating ice cream. It's like you're imagining eating ice cream or having a hallucinatory experience eating ice cream, but it has none of the traditional food matter associated with a typical ice cream eating experience, and it's way more vivid and powerful. It's accurate though. You'll salivate when you eat the carton, you'll finish it thirstier than when you began. I mean, that's our guarantee. This ice cream has all the comfort of ice cream with none of the calories. The hypnotic experience is perfect for anyone from your local dad on Weight Watchers up to the World War II bomber lost at sea. Finally, we have an ice cream that lets you sink your teeth into the power of words. I believe there's a great opportunity to launch a guerrilla marketing campaign for my ice cream in the dairy section of the grocery store. All I need is an old man to plant who will walk through the aisle, who'll look at all the options. Finally, he'll pick out a carton of salted caramel. He'll sort of look at it, he'll kind of tap it frustratedly, and then finally, he'll look at the other old people in the aisle and he'll say, hey, what's the deal with this salted caramel? I mean, what was wrong with normal caramel? And then, all of a sudden, all the old people get scared of the haunting specter of salt in their caramel. And just like that, the sale is closed. All my old man has to do is hand them a carton of my no ice cream and say, how about a caramel ice cream that has no salt in it because there's nothing in it? Beyond that, I'm going to have an advertisement in the store with a middle-aged man wearing a red long-sleeve collared shirt like he works at Office Max or something. And on the advertisement, he's going to be crouching down to look under a table. Under the table, there will be a number. That number will be the price of my ice cream. And then in big letters across the top, over the head of this middle-aged man, it'll say, we've dropped our prices. Have you seen them? So my ice cream is going to do very well sales-wise. One other food idea, which I'm particularly proud that I would like to share with you all to finish out, is my idea for a novelty buffet restaurant. The gimmick at the restaurant is that everyone who comes in gets a new pair of shoes to strut around in. But when you get to the front of the line, everybody, you have to take your shoes off and serve yourself into the shoe. I named my restaurant based off the fact that one, there are shoes involved, and two, it's a buffet which you obviously take multiple trips up to. Accordingly, I call it Boot and Rally. And the best part, the part that I think my customers are going to get the biggest kick out of, and I think the part you will like the best as well, the best part of my restaurant is that restaurant policy is, when you finish eating, you get to keep the shoes.